the closest route to a championship, whether this is a feather blown in the wind or not, to me right now is obviously still centering around the big three.
Of course.
Yeah, no
There's
question.
no doubt.
Okay, so let's
and
just
I
do that.
would have thought that if they wouldn't have won the title last year. The fact that you have three guys who had won 3 titles, now 4 based on last year, of course that gives you the best chance. And I just wonder about what happens after the big three decides to leave, because I don't believe that the future core, even if you want to include James Wiseman when he was here, that to me was not a future core that was going to win a championship. Jordan, Moses, Wiseman, Kuminga, PBJ, Rollins, any of those guys, even Lester Quinones, who some have cited, including the great Alan Stiles, who said, "Let Lester cook." And I thought that was just a genius tweet, one of his 170 tweets. I don't know how he does it with a young baby, but no, that core, that future core, is not the one that makes you think, yeah, championship core.
Right.
No.
Right. Absolutely. My family on YouTube, not actually my family, but my family, one of our listeners on YouTube, Willard, maybe a few of us are tired of Dre's antics and simply want him to continue his legacy elsewhere. Well, that's fine. Like who's not allowed to have that opinion? That group does have a very large contingent. There are plenty of you who are exhausted with Draymond. But to me, that's not a point in the direction of the Warriors are better without him. The Warriors have been steadfast, consistent all the way around the board. They're a better team with him, and it is power for him. It's why they put up with him. Sure, he wears everybody out. Steve Kerr, once upon a time, lip readers. I'm so bleeping sick of Draymond. We know that. Wears everybody out. But they're better with him. So, yeah. You got to bite the bullet.
That's it. And that's ultimately and I talked yesterday about the pros and cons list. It all comes down to those two things. Draymond's antics versus do you want to win a championship? Because they believe that they cannot win a championship without Draymond. They believe they still can win a championship with Draymond, Steph, and Klay. On the other side of the balance sheet is Draymond's antics. And under that umbrella is a stomp of Sabonis. It's a crotch punch. It's a teammate punch, it's a body slam, it's a flail kick, it's flagrants, it's technicals, it's a shouting match with Steve Kerr, it's an alienation sensation of Kevin Durant, and so much more. But the balance sheet obviously tilts in the direction we'd rather survive and sustain all of that and have a chance to win.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, 888-957-9570. Robin in the city is with us here on Willard and Dibs. Hi, Robin. What are you doing?
I'm driving on the freeway and hope you can hear me. I was just looking at some matchbox apartments in San Mateo. I was thinking that San Francisco is not the only one that has them. But listen, I don't have anything like a choice. I just want to throw a few things at you. Maybe it'll offer some content. In terms of the big three, here's how I feel about that. You know, Steph is going to be there. I think Klay, I think he deserves another chance to come back because he was out for 2 years, and I kind of look like, to me it seems like it would take him that much longer to get up to par. You know what I mean? And then in terms of Jordan Poole, I brought this up with John Dickerson. You know, could this be part of his growth process? You know, the guy was in the G League, and now everyone expects him to be all end all. Oh, his defense sucks. No kidding. He just learned how to shoot compared to the first year. So I do think he deserves one more opportunity. But in terms of the big three going, I could care less if Draymond goes. It's not saying that I don't want him there, but I have to agree with one of the callers. Draymond thinks he's indispensable, and because he thinks he's indispensable, he rides that. He rides that to a tilt, and then he gets away with it. And
well, Robin, let us jump in on that because I think that's an interesting point. And we do this a lot to the Warrior players, I guess, and all athletes. Jordan thinks he's Steph Curry. Draymond thinks he's indispensable. I'll say this, when you tell those two things, I know which one sounds like a more correct statement to me. Draymond thinks he's indispensable. Guess what? I agree with him.
Right, but he acts like it, and he leverages it, and he behaves like it.
But he is.
No,
so
it's not. I think
what are you going to do about it? If he's indispensable, he's indispensable.
What you're going to do about it is allow him to punch a teammate in the face, and you're not going to discipline him. That's what you're going to do about it. And when you do that, and it costs you a season, Draymond's words, not mine, and when you do that, and it maybe costs you the confidence of a young player who you just gave $130 million to, then that is all part of collateral damage. And I know Draymond's won 4 titles, but when you do that, when you allow Draymond Green to run roughshod over the ethos of your organization, and it costs you an NBA championship because he punches LeBron James in the groin, you have to understand that all this is a part of it when you allow him to do that.
You're not wrong at all. However, here's the problem with it, and this is what he knows, and this is what the Warriors know. When we say, oh, he cost them a season because he punched Jordan Poole, and he said so afterward. Okay, remove him and the punch. All right, Draymond, you're gone. You're out of here, and you lose Draymond. Well, then what do you lose? You don't even make the playoffs. You don't even make the playoffs. So what did he really cost them?
He cost, I mean, if he's gone, maybe, so you suspend him for the year.
Yep.
You give him an 82 piece.
Or if you just do what people suggest, get him out of here. Whatever way, shape, or form, trade him. Trade him for somebody that all you people think is just going to come in and do the same thing.
You get Jonathan Kuminga, and you get to find out about Jonathan Kuminga, and you get to see what you have in Jonathan Kuminga. And
that's fine. It's the 12 seed, but it's fine.
Maybe. I mean, you don't know that. The difference between the 4 and the 13 was about 5 games this year. So, I mean, maybe things would have played out similarly. You probably wouldn't have been better. You might have been a little bit worse.
I mean, he's 20. Like, who in the NBA is 20 and is coming in and doing really, really well? Like, in a big role. It's just, you know what I mean?
Not too many people.
Right. Like, I would love to see Kuminga grow. I would love to see him, too.
But I guess the devil's advocate position is you didn't go anywhere anyway. So if Draymond wasn't around and Kuminga played 25 minutes a night, at least his development would be further along. If you're not going to be a championship team anyway, and you weren't, so at least you would have been able to see some of the young guys.
I guess that's a little hindsight 2020
it totally
me,
is,
right? Because you don't know.
No doubt.
You don't know if you were going to win. And I still stand here where I don't think they're not that far off. They're not that far off. Like winning a series and getting to 6 and no, it's not great. I know the bar that is set here, but I don't think they're that far off.
Yeah, I think they're further away than what the playoff results would tell you because the way you beat Sacramento, if you're in that same series with Sacramento next year, I think you lose that series. Sacramento lost to you because of championship pedigree.
They did, but also this is interesting.
Lemon booty.
When we talk about those adorable little beamers, I tell you what.
It's been a while.
Right?
Lemon booty.
It felt good too.
Thank you.
It felt good to go back. Anyway, you know when people go, oh gosh, you barely beat the Kings. There's Kingsism in there. That's Sacramento Kingsism.
Please explain.
They're the 3 seed. Stop acting like winning in 7 was some sort of, they barely beat the Kings. That's the 3 seed. That was a good team.
Well,
beating them was an accomplishment.
In all fairness, about the 3 seed, they were only 4 games better than the Warriors.
I know, but they're the 3rd.
So let's not pretend that they were like this mighty 3 seed, 60-22.
I don't call them mighty, but I think we should stop flicking the idea as if the Warriors were the 3 and the Kings were the 6.
The Warriors were favored.
I know, but
prohibitive
pedigree, and public perception and all of that. Don't you think it sounds like the Warriors were the 3 and the Kings were the 6, and people are like, dude, you barely beat the Kings. You were the 6. They were the 3.
Sure.
Going into this thing, right? I tell you what, like none of us here, but that's because we live here. Sacramento, you detailed this to me. Supposedly thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
They were not this. I know what Vegas said, but there were healthy opinions out there.
Sure.
That the Kings were going to win that series.
But the 3-6 matchup was a 4-game difference. And if you want to look at how those 4 games actually got settled and solved, you had a Warrior team that didn't really go balls out in the regular season, and the Kings had more games played by their best players than any team in the association.
You're 100%.
So their 48 was we're trying for every game 48, and the Warriors are like, what, 44?
No, there's no doubt. But I guess that's part of the larger point, which is that there is not greatness in the Western Conference right now.
That's a good point.
So I don't think they're that far off. You don't even have to be great. You just have to be really good.
Well, you got to be great to beat the Nuggets because
do you?
Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5.
It costs you $10 to say that, by the way. You have to give me $10.
Damn,
now.
in the super chat.
Yeah.
Nuggets
Cash me out one time.
Nuggets. I could see a Nuggets sweep.
I could also see a 2-2 series here in a few days.
Not me.
I hope not. But
the only way that happens is if Scott Foster gets an assignment.
Phoenix did it to him.
The extender.
Phoenix did it to him. Phoenix made it 2-2.
Phoenix is better than the Lakers.
And then they laid down. I don't know. Put it this way. I agree with you, except for at the end of a series. Give me LeBron over Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
Look at you coming
franchise.
around on my Lakers.
Well, it's LeBron.
You woke up. You finally woke up.
Huh?
Thank you.
What is that my alarm? Man, I slept through it. Sean in Oakland. Hey, Sean, what are you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up?
What's up, Sean?
Yeah.
Nothing, man. I'm just the whole Jordan Poole situation that I'm thinking about is just like everybody that's been the three people in the core of the Warriors. Every player in there gotten better. Curry was probably on his way out because of ankle issues and everything. And everybody was giving him to the Wolves and everything until he got better, got bigger, got stronger. Draymond got more competitive, got more of a voice. I don't condone his antics sometimes. It's annoying. But at the same time, we do need that physicality in the West. And Klay just came off a 2-year injury. And he just now getting everything back in order and stuff. So, yeah, he shot like crap against the Lakers. But at the end of the day, his legs was probably tired of going around chasing the Sacramento Kings all the way around that whole series. So Jordan shouldn't have got that big contract so quick. I think he should have earned it a little bit more because he hasn't proved nothing. Yeah, he got a little 20-point per game and everything, but what has he gotten better at?
So, Sean, this is a really interesting point because a lot of us have talked this out about did Jordan get it too soon? Let me ask you this, Sean. If the Warriors had done what some of us advocated at the beginning of the year, let Jordan play this year, and would arrive right now at restricted free agency, what would you have done right now if you were the Warriors?
Right now, he wouldn't have got that $100 million. Because
it took
a lot of years.
So would you let him walk?
To Curry to get that max.
But what if so now here come the Charlotte Hornets and they do offer Jordan $100 million because the Warriors gave him $128. I think he is still a $100 million player. He may not be $130, but here comes Charlotte with a 4-year, $100 million offer. You're the Warriors. How do you respond?
I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him.
No, so I'm with you. You match it, but
and
what
then
he's saying
untradeable. And then he's untradeable.
No, but you didn't have to give him the 130. Thank you, Sean. I'm with you because you gave him the 130, and now he's probably worth 100. So now, if you wouldn't have given him that deal, if you would have let it play out, now Charlotte comes and says, we want to give you 4 and 100. Now you could say, all right, we'll match that 4 and 100, thereby saving $30 million, which really equates to about $150 million.
Well, no, $30 million over 4 years. You'd actually only be saving about 5 plus the tax.
It'd be 5 times 5 a year over 4, which would be $100 million.
28 this year, and we're saying that he would make 25. So that's 3, the escalator, 15 million.
Well,
16 million.
If you look at his contract, it's 28, and then it's 30,
right,
and then it's 32.
Right, but we're talking about just the cap this year.
Right, and they may not be over the cap in the future. Point being, for this year, you're making, you're saving 15 straight off the rip. Instead, you gave him the bag early, and I wonder if you have bag remorse.
Maybe, but now tradable, which that other deal would not be for 6 months.